Teacher talking sports, what it does, what it do, how we live. And yesterday, the NFL draft came to an end. All 7 rounds have been completed for the 2024 NFL draft. And when it comes to the NFL draft, one person who comes to mind is ESPN's Mel Kiper Jr. Love him or hate him, he is one of the faces of the NFL draft annually. Yes, he puts himself out there. Can get scrutinized because he is going to get some prospects wrong, as do general managers and front offices. But he does get a lot right as well. And you do learn a lot about the prospects from him, reading mock drafts, his prospect rankings, etc., etc. Well, after each draft, he comes out with his draft grades. So we're going to take a look at who he gave the best grades to and who he gave the worst grade to. Now, he is a lenient grader as a teacher. He loves giving out B's. As a matter of fact, I believe 23 of the 32 teams got some type of B, whether it's B plus B or B minus. But let's get into it. We'll start with the top grades. So he gave out 2 A's to the Arizona Cardinals, who took Marvin Harrison Jr. with that 4th overall pick, giving Kyler Murray that number 1 option that he so absolutely needed it bad. Darius Robinson, a good edge pick who had such a good Senior Bowl, which helped raise his stock. I'm a Rutgers grad, so them taking Max Melton in the 2nd round, I think that's going to definitely help their secondary there. And I love the Trey Benson pick at running back. James Conner coming off an 1,000-yard season, but he is 29 years old. We know that's seen as aging as a running back. So I do like that Trey Benson pick as well. The Philadelphia Eagles got the top 2 cornerbacks, according to some analysts. I believe Mel Kiper was one of them. Quite the surprise. Again, quarterback. Well, first off, the first 14 picks were offensive players, meaning some defensive players slipped. Quinyon Marshall, the top cornerback selected. Eagles were able to get him at 22, so that was quite the steal. And Cooper DeJean, who many expected to go in the 1st round, instead the Eagles were able to get with the 8th overall pick in the 2nd round, 40th overall. Will Shipley, maybe a 3rd down back, although I believe they still have Kenneth Gainwell and Boston Scott in under contract, and Jeremiah Trotter Jr. Eagles fans are pretty fond of his dad, who played for him. Gave out 2 A minuses as well. The Steelers, who really looked to improve their trenches, especially on the offensive line. Top 2 picks were offensive linemen, and they did have a 4th round pick. The Commanders got their hopeful quarterback of the future, Jaden Daniels, with the 2nd overall pick. So those are the 4 best grades he gave out. 2 grades of an A. Lowest grade was a C, and probably not surprising who he gave it to, that being the Atlanta Falcons. Of course, the Atlanta Falcons had probably the most surprising pick of the entire draft when they took Michael Penix Jr., 8th overall. A month and a half after they signed Kirk Cousins to a $100 million guaranteed deal. So expected that Penix Jr. will sit at least 2 seasons, and he is an older prospect as well. He is 24 years old. So a lot of people gave the Falcons the lowest grade, in large part to that Penix Jr. pick. I mean, who knows, maybe 4 or 5 years from now, they'll be laughing at everyone who doubted him. But he also gave 4 teams a C+, starting with the Cleveland Browns. They were without a 1st round pick. The Denver Broncos, he did not believe Bo Nix should have went 12th overall. But the way quarterbacks were going, since Penix Jr. was taken 8th overall, they knew there was no chance Bo Nix would slip to him later in the draft. Minnesota Vikings, a C+. I mean, JJ McCarthy, we'll see how he turns out. I did like them getting Dallas Turner, although they Did have to give up a decent amount to move up 6 picks to do so. Took a kicker in the 6th round. And then the Tennessee Titans also got a C plus. J.C. Latham, almost every mock draft was giving him Joe Alt Jr., but Alt Jr. went 5th, excuse me, to the Los Angeles Chargers. So they did need an offensive tackle for sure. Tavondre Sweat, who fortunately had the DUI earlier this month, very heavy player. Some wonder if he's more of a 2-down guy. But if he were to lose weight, he could definitely be dominant. So again, 4 teams that he gave an A or A minus, and then 5 teams he gave a C plus or a C. So this is beyond ESPN Plus article. So if you don't have ESPN Plus, you can't see it. So I'll quickly go over everyone else's grade. So the B pluses: Baltimore Ravens, Houston Texans, Kansas City Chiefs, Los Angeles Chargers, Los Angeles Rams. B's: Buffalo Bills, Chicago Bears, Cincinnati Bengals, Detroit Lions, Green Bay Packers, Indianapolis Colts, Las Vegas Raiders, Miami Dolphins, New England Patriots, New Orleans Saints, New York Giants, New York Jets, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, B minus, Carolina Panthers, Dallas Cowboys, Jacksonville Jaguars, San Francisco 49ers, Seattle Seahawks. And that is everyone's grade. Let me know in the comments, who do you believe had the best and worst drafts in 2024? Of course, this is all subjective. We have to see how these guys do on the field, but it's still a fun exercise. And again, Mel Kiper can be scrutinized at times, but I do enjoy his writing and what he has to say about the prospects. And if you watch the end of the draft, they were definitely giving him high praise. Matt Miller, trying to think who else was there. Louis Riddick, Field Yates, all showing him a ton of love. I think it was Matt Miller who said he belongs in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. But anyhow, don't forget to subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to subscribe. Like the video, share the video, hit the bell for notifications.